Ever hit that snooze button and wonder what it's all about?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Why bother getting out of bed?
Right.
Well, today we're diving deep into a poem uh, called Remembering Why I Woke Up
Hmm.
by global poet Stephanie.
Okay.
And what's interesting is it's a very recent piece. She wrote this on October 1st this year.
Oh, wow.
So
Really?
just a few days ago. I don't know about you, but I find that fascinating.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like she plucked these thoughts right out of our heads and put them on paper.
Seriously. Like, it's uncanny how much this poem resonates, even though it's brand new. You with me on this?
Absolutely. It's like that thing about how poetry takes these big feelings, the kind that are hard to even put into words,
Yeah.
and it just like distills them down into these really potent lines. I think global poet Stephanie is really onto something here.
For sure. And you know what really got me? That very first line.
Okay, yeah.
The alarm rang, and I snoozed it. I didn't want to get up.
Oh, I felt that.
I mean, who hasn't been there?
Seriously. Every morning.
But then it takes this turn, right, with this phrase,
Yeah.
a spirit-filled, soft, quiet nudge. Okay, now we're talking. What do you make of that?
See, that's where it gets really juicy for me. It's like she takes us from this place of like, totally relatable grogginess. We've all been there hitting snooze.
Oh, yeah.
To suddenly there's this like, I don't know, like a sense of possibility. It's almost like a little motivating push.
Yeah, I'm nudged.
Some might call it intuition.
Right.
Maybe it's like this calling you feel deep down.
Oh, interesting.
Or even just like this burst of energy out of nowhere. It's like something reminding you, hey, there's a reason to get out of bed. Even if, in that moment, you can't quite put your finger on what it is.
And that's what's so powerful about it. It makes you think about those moments in your own life, those like little nudges, those moments of clarity you were just talking about.
Exactly.
The ones that kind of like cut through all the noise and maybe even remind you of what you're meant to be doing. Like, what's your purpose,
Yes, totally. And the thing is, Stephanie doesn't let us off easy there. She goes on to talk about this idea of not growing weary in well-doing. And that really struck me. It's like a little pep talk for anyone who is out there striving for something more.
Absolutely. Especially for our listeners who are all about that constant growth and learning.
Right. Like, let's be real. Even the most motivated people, they get tired. We all do.
100%. It's like she's acknowledging that. You're not alone in feeling that way. Okay, but then she hits us with this line that really stopped me in my tracks. She says, my life already has been set and prejudged. Whoa.
Right.
I mean, talk about a loaded word. Prejudged? What do you even make of that? What does it even mean for your life to be prejudged?
It's so interesting that she chose that word, right? Because it immediately makes you think, like, what does that look like? And I don't think there's, like, one right answer.
I definitely not.
On the one hand, it could totally be about this idea of fate. Like, our path is already decided for us.
Right, like it's predetermined.
Or maybe it's more about those expectations society throws at us. Like, you're supposed to follow this path, check these boxes, be this kind of person.
Oh, I see what you mean.
But then there's this other side of it, right? And
Yeah.
that's like the internal stuff. The judgments we put on ourselves, the biases, the limiting beliefs, all those assumptions we make about who we are and what we can achieve.
Wow. Yeah. When you put it that way, it's almost like a challenge, this line. Like Stephanie's asking us to really examine those prejudgments, those ideas we have about ourselves and our lives, and see if they're actually serving us or holding us back.
Yes, 100%. And you know what? That ties right back into those nudges we were talking about earlier.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Are we open to listening to those nudges, even if they push us out of our comfort zones? Even if they make us question everything we thought we knew about ourselves and the world?
That's a really good question for all of us to consider, I think.